If you're not seriously ready to change, then this video isn't for you. People only change when the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of changing. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So in this video, I'm going to teach you how you can really change your life. But as I said, you can only change your life when you decide that something has to change, okay? I'm not a fairy that will magically help you change your life. This video will change your life if you decide to take action. So if you want to see more of my videos, don't forget to subscribe, and let's start with this video. So first of all, please stop listening to advice that tells you are perfect the way you are, you don't have to change, just stay the same. Please stop listening to that bullshit, okay? Because this is literal bullshit. It really is. Of course, you are worthy exactly the way you are. There's no question about that. But you are allowed to change, okay? If you're not happy with your life right now, you don't have to stay the same, okay? You don't have to stay the same. That's what you need to understand. You can be worthy exactly the way you are. And you can also change at the same time so you can make yourself happy, because no one else will do it for you, okay? Nobody is coming to save you. And if you are unhappy with something in your life, you are the only person that has the power to change it. You are the only person that has the power to make yourself happy and to save yourself. And what you also need to stop doing is always saying, that's just the way I am. I can't change anything about my situation because that's just the way I am. I hear so often people saying, I'm just not a disciplined person. I'm just not a sporty person. I could never do something like that. That's just not who I am. But you know what? You're limiting yourself by saying those things, okay? Because why? Answer me the question, why aren't you a sporty person? Why aren't you a disciplined person? Can you answer me that question? I can tell you, you are not a sporty person because you don't go to the gym. That's it. You are not a disciplined person because you don't act like a disciplined person, okay? You are not born a certain way. You are not born without discipline. You are not born to be an unsporty person. You are not born to be whatever. You can be whoever you want to be if you decide that you can, okay? And if you act according to it. The only thing that stands between your current self and your future self are your actions. And if you never go to the gym, of course you won't be a sporty person. If you always just rely on motivation, of course you won't be a disciplined person, okay? But you need to understand that it's possible. It's possible to change. So please do yourself a favor and stop always telling yourself, that's just not the way I am. I can't do this, I can't do this. And I know what I'm talking about because that was me most of my life, okay? I didn't have self-trust and I always said, I can't do this, I can't do that. But this belief about me was the reason why I never started. I never tried new things because I believed that I can't reach my goal anyway, so why would I even try? And I limited myself because I was stuck in victim mode. But once I understood that I'm not stuck being the same person forever, and once I understood that I could try to reach my goals and I needed to stop telling myself that I just can't, really everything changed for me. Everything changed because that was the moment when I tried new things where sometimes I reached my goals, sometimes I didn't reach my goals, but I built more and more self-trust because I proved to myself that I am able to change my life. So the next thing is you need to accept where you are right now, okay? And you need to be honest to yourself. Really, you cannot create a new life, you cannot change if you can't be honest with yourself, if you can't tell yourself what you don't like about your current life, okay? For example, a person who is overweight needs to be honest to themselves and tell themselves, I am overweight, this is unhealthy and I need to change. No matter how uncomfortable it is, I need to do something to change that. Only when this person is honest to themselves, they can really change something. But when they always tell themselves, I'm not that much overweight, I'm still young, I have time to lose weight, blah, 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 they will always find new excuses why they don't have to change, okay? So you really need to take a look at your current reality and be honest to yourself. Write down what you're unhappy with in your life right now, okay? For example, I'm unhappy with my weight. I'm unhappy with my job. I'm unhappy with my friendships, whatever. Write everything down to get clear on what needs to change, okay? And when you wrote down what you're unhappy with, what kind of life you want to have, what kind of person you want to be, okay? And then also write that down. So if you wrote down that you're unhappy with your weight, for example, ask yourself, what would be my ideal weight? If you wrote down, I'm unhappy with my friendships, ask yourself what your ideal friendships would look like. If you wrote down, I'm unhappy with my job, ask yourself what would be my dream job. And it's very important that you write those things down, because you need to get clear on where you are right now and what makes you unhappy at the moment and where you want to go. And after that, ask yourself, what needs to change in my day-to-day life so I can reach my goals? Only writing down where you are right now and where you want to go won't get you anywhere, okay? Of course, you need to take steps in the right direction. So ask yourself, for example, if you want to lose weight, that's the easiest example, okay? If you want to lose weight, you want to lose 10 kilos, for example, what do you need to do to reach that goal? Do you need to start going to the gym? Do you need to start increasing your daily steps? Do you need to start eating healthier? You really need to make a plan on how you can reach your goal. And please don't try to change everything overnight, okay? Because when you try to change everything overnight, you will do it for like 5 days and then you will give up because it's exhausting. It's just too much, okay? So make small steps in the right directions. For example, if you want to lose weight, I'm taking this example again, and you want to increase your steps, and right now you're walking only 2,000 steps a day, don't immediately jump to 10,000 steps, okay? Start with 4,000 steps and try to walk 4,000 steps for the next week. And if you implemented walking 4,000 steps every day, you can start walking 6,000 steps. Or if you want to start going to the gym, and right now you're not going to the gym at all, don't tell yourself, I'm going to start going to the gym 6 times a week. No, that's unrealistic, okay? Start going to the gym 2 times a week. And then when you realize, okay, I did it for a while, I can now go up to 3 times a week, then go up to 3 times a week, okay? Really make small steps in the right direction. And I know when you really want to change something, you want to change everything overnight. You want to reach your goals fast. But trust me when I tell you, that was me. I did it over and over and over again, and I was always exhausted, and I ended up giving up and not reaching my goal at all because I wanted everything overnight. Trust me, have a clear vision where you want to go, but make small steps in the right direction. What you also need to do is you need to become that person that already has that life, okay? Try to always ask yourself, what would my dream self do right now? If you are hungry and you want to go to McDonald's so bad, ask yourself, what would the person that has the life that I want do right now? Would this dream self of mine go to McDonald's right now, or would she cook a healthy meal at home? What would she do? If you are so tired and you don't want to go to the gym, ask yourself, what would the version of me that already has my dream life do right now? Would she go to the gym or would she stay at home? And then try as often as you can to already act like the person you want to become, because this is the only way you can actually become that person. For example, if someone wants to become a TikToker, this person needs to post videos on TikTok like this person is already a successful TikToker. There's no way around it. You need to act like the person you want to become, even if you're not there yet. As I said in the beginning, the only thing that's separating your current self and your future dream self are your actions. And trust me, it's not going to be comfortable, okay? Changing is never comfortable, but you can't grow and you can't change anything without getting uncomfortable, okay? That's just a part of life that you need to get comfortable with. You literally need to get comfortable with being uncomfortable, okay? And what's also very helpful with going into the direction of your dream self, of your dream life, is building routines that support you. Really, routines are the one thing that helped me so much reach my goals. And I'm gonna tell you why. If you want to change something, you want to go to the gym, you want to increase your steps, you want whatever, to do whatever in your life, you need time in the day to do those things. So a night routine is very important, because with having a night routine, you make sure that you get to bed on time, that you have enough sleep, okay? So you can wake up early the next morning. Your night routine determines if you can wake up early the next morning. And a good morning routine is so important because your morning decides how your day will go, okay? So you need to have a good morning routine with a good start in your day, so you can really achieve everything you want to achieve that day. Also, don't wait for others and learn to do things alone. When I started my self-development journey, I always wanted to go to the gym with a friend. I always wanted to go on a walk with a friend. I always wanted to start waking up early with a friend. Literally, me and my friend, we told each other, tomorrow we're going to wake up at this and this time, so we don't do it alone. And I had to realize that if you always rely on someone else to be there for you, to be with you in that journey, you won't get anywhere, okay? Because if your friend doesn't want to go to the gym today, you don't go to the gym today. If your friend doesn't want to go on a walk today, you don't go on a walk today. And by doing this, you give your power away and you let other people decide when you work on your goals. That doesn't make sense at all because you're holding yourself back with no reason, okay? So really learn to do things alone and to only rely on yourself. If someone wants to come, that's great, you can go together. But if your friend doesn't have time all of a sudden, don't change your plans. Do it alone, do it anyway. Another thing that's also very helpful is keeping your vision alive, okay? And what I mean by that is I love to do visualization meditations. So you turn on a meditation on YouTube, a visualization meditation. You close your eyes and then you imagine your dream self, your dream life, how you spend your time, what you do every day, how you look, where you work, whatever. This is so motivating because it reminds you where you want to go, and it also reminds you that it's worth putting in the work no matter how comfortable it is. Another thing is, in order to build your own dream life, you need to stop watching other people's lives all of the time, okay? So please do yourself a favor and reduce the amount of time you spend on social media, okay? Because spending too much time on social media holds you back so much because you're constantly watching other people's life, what other people are doing, how other people are reaching their goals, how other people go on vacation, and how can you have time to change your own life when you're busy watching other people? That doesn't work, okay? I'm not telling you that you should delete every social media app on your phone. That's not what I'm saying. Social media can also be an inspiration, and I also use social media as an inspiration. But when I notice that I'm on social media too much, I need to make that cut because I notice that I spend hours of my day watching someone else's life when I could spend those hours investing in myself. Another thing is you need to stop listening to limited people. I'm sorry to tell you. And I have to tell you, almost everyone on this planet is limited, okay? What I mean by that is people give advice not based on the truth, not based on reality. People give advice based on their own experiences, based on their own fears, based on their own traumas, okay? And a person who is afraid to follow their own dreams might advise you that your dreams are unrealistic. The same as a person who got cheated on by every partner she ever had would tell you that every man on this planet cheats and that you can't trust anyone. Does her advice make it true? No, it's not the universal truth, but it's her experience, and I can understand why this is her reality and why she thinks that, but it doesn't make it true for me. Just because she got cheated on, it doesn't mean that I will get cheated on, because it's not true that every man on this planet cheats, okay? Really, you need to be careful where you get your advice from. When someone tells you that your dreams are unrealistic, that you're doing too much, that you're whatever, you need to stop listening to those people, because it might be unrealistic for them. It might be unrealistic in their reality, but it doesn't mean that it has to be your reality too. What's also very helpful when you want to change your life is being more grateful, okay? And changing your mindset from I have to do this to I get to do this. You really are in a privileged situation when you have the chance to improve your life, okay? Not everyone has that chance. Not everyone has the privilege to watch this video and decide afterwards that they are going to really change their lives. And they wish they had that opportunity. So you really need to be a little more grateful that you have the chance to actually do something if you're unhappy, to actually change something about your life when you're unhappy, okay? It really just makes everything so much easier to just realize that we are privileged people. And when you don't want to do something, stop saying, I have to go to the gym again. Start saying, I get to go to the gym again because I'm privileged. Stop saying, I have to eat healthy again, and start saying, I get to eat healthy again because I am privileged. And the last thing I want to say in this video is it's not going to be perfect. It really is not going to be perfect, and you need to stop striving for perfection because perfection won't get you anywhere. I was a person, I always had that all or nothing mindset, black or white. If I didn't do something perfect, then I gave up completely. When I told myself today I'm only going to eat healthy, and then I ate chocolate, I gave up completely, and I said there's no reason in eating healthy the rest of the day because I already ate a piece of chocolate. But that's dumb, okay? Because why can't you eat healthy the rest of the day just because you ate chocolate? That doesn't make sense and that won't get you anywhere. So you need to accept that you won't be perfect. You will miss out some days. Even if you have your plan, you are not going to follow that plan perfectly, and that's okay. If you miss one day, just act like this never happened, and the next day, just go on with your plan. This is the only way you are going to really reach your goals. So that's it for today's video. I really hope it was helpful. Trust me, if you follow this advice, your life will improve. Don't forget that. So I'm seeing you in my next video. Bye bye.